Hey everybody, so this is Artsy Eyes, and this is not a tutorial, a tips and tricks video for when you're making clay charms or figurines or whatever it is you want to make with clay. First, for the clay that you want to buy, I've got this big bag just full of clay, and there's three very popular ones that I know about for the oven baked clay, which I would suggest if you're going to make charms, especially for selling them. I would get oven baked clay aside from air dried clay. But oven baked clay, there's Sculpey 3, which is my favorite, and Primo and Fimo. So here's just red Sculpey clay. This is what it looks like. And a color like this, if it's not on sale, how much is this? 2 ounces. So it's not that big. It can go a long way if you're just making small charms, but this is like $3. So when you buy a bunch of different colors, it might be a little expensive. So if I were you, I would try and wait till you have coupons or sales. I just go to Ben Franklin's. Ben Franklin's is nearby, and they have lots of different colors. Also, the only air dry clay I've got is this Model Magic, which is the first clay that I ever got, but I only made a few things with it because it is really soft and squishy, but the bakeable clay, it's just much faster to get hard. This takes a while. The first thing I made was like this, and it looks nice, you know. It doesn't look much different than it would with bakeable clay. I mean, this is so much smaller, but so the colors are a little different, but you can't really make a really noticeable difference. I could have made them look more similar, but this takes forever. This has been I made this 2 weeks ago, and it's still a little squishy. And it's not like squishy buns. Oh yeah, okay, I shouldn't have done that. So this is a really good example. I was going to throw this away anyways, but it's a little squishy, and this is pretty much what happened to it. Yeah, so it's a good thing I don't really like this one, because that would have been disappointing. But yeah, so this might be good for beginners. It was really cheap, like $5. So if you're not sure if you're any good at it and you want to practice a little more, this is definitely okay. And here is some of this. This is what the Model Magic air dry clay looks like, and then here's what the other clay looks like. So here's a quick, just showing you the difference. So this sculpted clay is really hard. I mean, this is pretty, actually kind of squishy. I like this, but this is how it squishes. And then here's this one, which is really squishy. I'm just gonna, I mean, this just is, it's squishier than Play-Doh. I mean, this is awesome. So if you do like the soft, squishy stuff, Model Magic is the way to go. And it's definitely good if you're a beginner, but sometimes if you're getting a little more advanced and you're trying to make really detailed things, it being so squishy will get in the way because you'll keep messing up what you've already made. So it's pretty much for more basic things like the poisonous mushroom. But storing clay, I store all my clay in Ziploc baggies because it's cheap, and I think it's pretty effective because I just squish all the air out and then zip it up. And that way I know that it's airtight for sure. There's nothing in this bag anymore except for the clay. And I just keep going at it until it's closed. But you can also get airtight containers. It'll be kind of pricey though if you, this is my bag of clay. Here, let me just grab it all. So I would need a lot of containers, and there's more in there. So airtight containers or Ziploc bags are the ones that are pretty good. Also, you might want to get Sculpey glaze, and I don't have anything right now that's not glazed, but when it's not glazed, it doesn't have this nice shiny effect. So I hope you can see, but there's a nice shine to it. So this is really nice for doing that. It also, if an eye pin is not in all the way, it feels a little loose. This is sticky, kind of like glue. It's liquidy, but if you put extra Sculpey around the eye pin, it'll be a little more secure. So this was about $6 at Ben Franklin's. That's also where I got all my clay. And this is 1 fluid ounce. It doesn't seem like much, but I mean, it goes a long way. When you're glazing, if I were you, I would pick one brush and stick to it and keep it only for glazing, because this is like a cheap brush that I got from like one of those Crayola watercolor sets, but it was a little more not all fringy like this is now. So if I were you, and if you're going to make a lot of clay, we just picked one brush because it wasn't like this before I started using the glaze. So these are eye pins, and they're pretty cheap. I mean, they're really cheap. I got a pack of 30 for like 99 cents. So that's what the eye pin is. And if it's still wet, like if this is hard and it's just a figurine, but if it was still wet, you would stick the eye pin in. And then they're bakeable, so you can put these in the oven. Also, for the eye pins, you're going to need pliers, or just metal cutters, whatever, and you just trim at it like this, pretty easy. Okay, so for those of you that really like the kawaii faces and all that, like this hamburger, if you want to draw on this kind of stuff and you really do want to start getting into this clay stuff, I would just go out and buy yourself, or look around the house for a good pen for that kind of stuff with a few different sized tips. It's a really good one. It's an Elmer's painter's pen, and this is the fine tip one. Yeah, fine tip one. And it's really cool because when it gets dry, you just shake it. This is the size it is, so it's really nice. This is a Millennium ZG, I don't know what that means. Probably the brand. This is really good for fine. So if you like that, I would go and find yourself one of these. Look at the difference. That's kind of insane. Writers, another Z Aero G pen. So this one's nice because it's like an in-between. So this is a really, really good one. For fine tip, it's not too fine. So if you are going to put faces on, like this burger, if I were you, I know some people do it right after they bake it, or when it's still wet even. What I do is I bake it, I put the Sculpey gloss on it, and then once this dries, use a toothpick and acrylic paints, and you paint it on, like this is a toothpick, I think. After you paint it on, and then if you make a mistake, you can just rub it off and then put some water on it and start over. So that's a good tip if you are not sure that you can make a face that you'll like right away. Other than that, there's molds and fancy cutters and all that kind of stuff, or stuff like this. This is like for cookies, but this makes cool frosting effects. So just whatever you find around the house. I mean, for donuts, I know there's donut molds. Where's my donuts? Oh. But the hole in it, you could use maybe a pencil. I used the end of a funnel. Really, whatever you have around the house will work. Also, the only other thing that I have is this Sculpey. It's called Liquid Sculpey. This is translucent. I know that if you mix like this with acrylic paints, you can make like syrup if you're making a waffle and pour it on top. But I pretty much use this as glue. So if you have like small things and you're not sure that it's going to stick on well and it's just going to break off, this is pretty cool. So this was kind of pricey. This was like $12 at Ben Franklin's, but there's quite a bit. There's 2 fluid ounces, but you only need a drop. So this is really good. That's really all there is. I hope you like this video, and I hope it's helpful. If I didn't answer any of your questions, just leave them below, and I'll try and get back to you on that. So thank you so much. Please subscribe, because I only have like 3 subscribers right now. And I will make a lot more videos.